Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In your answers, Madam Administrator, to Senator McCain, you talked about how the agency should have been quicker and more comprehensive in your communication with the tribes and with others. I fully agree with that. How are we going to make sure, what are the protocols you're putting in place to make sure that next time we get it right instead of getting it wrong?
Well, all of our regions are going to be working with the states that are in their notification process, so that we update all the lists, we test it out periodically, and we make sure that all of the intakes and structures we knew about and took care of, so that there wouldn't be extensive damage. I'm not suggesting that this wasn't a disaster, because it clearly was from everybody's perspective. But the notifications did go in time for us to beat the plume before those intakes would have caused damage or brought it into drinking water supplies. And we're continuing to monitor that, and we've done, hundreds and hundreds of tests collaboratively with all of the states and with the tribes to make sure that we're keeping on top of this.
The other thing I would just, my colleague from Colorado raised this as well. Sometimes when information is produced but not explained, that can be as bad as keeping information hidden. So working on your approach to that, I think is also
we have
very,
talked
very
about that, yes.
We've asked you and the President to find resources and try to prioritize funding for a water treatment plant in the upper Animas River. We need that funding and that water treatment plant to, in the end, solve the problem of acid mine drainage from the 4 large mines. Can you tell us where that sits at the moment?
Well, at the moment, we're working on what the long-term plan should be, and we have to sit down with the state of Colorado to understand what people's input is right now in terms of their inclination on NPL listing, as well as what kind of resources can we bring to the table to begin the work. We've already created the treatment system, but it is not where it needs to be to take care of the entire problem, just the increased flow that resulted from the spill. So we still have huge amounts of work to do.
My understanding is that current temporary answer is not something that's suitable for the winter months. Is that right? Or
I will go back and check that. I'm not aware of that.
If you could, that would be good.
Okay,
I hear my colleague from New Mexico on Superfund status. That's obviously a very sensitive issue in our state. And so my hope is that as you work toward a decision here, that you will engage everybody in Colorado on this question. There are different points of view, as you know, and the details of this matter a great deal to the people of southwestern Colorado and to our state as a whole.
Well, sir, I want you to know that the meeting we went was at the request of those communities. So we'll continue to explain the situation, and folks will have to work with us to understand what the best way is to approach this.
Well, we are prepared to do that. Thank you.